but y'all be running it with bleeding hearts and spirit-led emotions. And I'm just like, yo, this it's gonna be a hot mess. It's gonna be
Tastemakers.
Class. We do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers, alright? Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight. We do more than make a living.
NoBigDyl airs out beef with BYOD. Alright? Right, Mo? Obviously, right? Goodness gracious. Goodness. So, of course, there's been a lot of drama going back and forth with kind of what happened between Build Your Own Dreams and Indie Tribe and NoBigDyl with what was called the Holy Smoke Tour or show or fest that is now just called the Smoke Fest. It was in Atlanta. It's now in Nashville. Obviously, there was a split. BYOD put out a notice saying that they were going to kind of update us later, but they never did. Smoke Fest was announced. It's going to be in Nashville. Lineup's already out there, but no BYOD. None of us really knew what happened. And then your boy Deal goes out and airs out some of the laundry. Let's get into the video.
And get into this.
Why they even want to play with us? It was cool till they try to take the name from us. Hey, don't you know the smoke still holy? Try to cut me out the deal, now I own it with the brodies.
So if you take Exhibit A, you would see that according to this, they tried to take the name, as he says, so eloquently, and they tried to cut him out of the deal. Now, if you guys want to put a little bit of this together, now I remember hearing something along the lines of, you know, BYOD might have been asking for more money and Indie Tribe wasn't having it, but Indie Tribe was kind of like feeling themselves. So these are the rumblings that are going around within the space. But my thing is that it's very easy to do, right? BYOD, the people who fronted the festival to begin with, of course is going to want a bigger slice of the pie. Hey, the deal that we made was based on where you are at the time that we made said deal. You are a bigger deal now, so let's do a little bit of a negotiation. And Indie Tribe, you know, was in the right as well. Like, hey, okay, we too understand our value is much larger, but we're not going to take the short end of the stick. It somewhere should be something like a 50-50 split or somewhere off in there. And those are the things that, as I've been able to, these are the things that I've been able to kind of piece together, okay? But at the end of the day.
So, from what it sounds like, obviously something went horribly wrong. BYOD tried to take the name. It sounds like somebody wanted a bigger cut, maybe. Not sure who or what or where. But that's really what we got. And NoBigDyl did air it out on the track there, letting people know a little bit more of an insight as to what happened. Thoughts, y'all? What y'all think about all this nonsense?
So, like, I'm putting the pieces together. I'm listening to what my man from Cruise is saying. I'm listening.
Shouts out to Cruise, by the way.
They saying
reporting that.
I'm listening to what Dill's talking about on the track. You know, we run a festival too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm throwing that into account. I'm like, yo, quote this or that. Could I still do this? Could I still do that? Boom, boom, boom. And what it seems like to me, in my summation of the situation, I think that Erinn and her squad, BYOD, I think they saw an opportunity, just like they were saying, that they could come up because they felt like smoke was going to be bigger than it was last year. And it sounds like they didn't have as much money invested into it, or they didn't have as big of a cut invested into it as Indie Tribe did, which they, in my opinion, I don't know how they did their business, but in my opinion, they shouldn't, because Indie Tribe is the face of it. They're the ones that, you know, from the public eye, is the one viewing it. So, but on the business side of it, it seemed like Erinn and them owned the name. So they was on some, you know, I felt like Dill went to Erinn and was like, yo, we not doing this new deal that y'all proposing. And Erinn was like, nah, we gonna do it, and we cutting you out of it, since you don't want to do it, right? So now I don't know why she did that, as if Indie Tribe wasn't the ones that powered the festival publicly, because
allegedly,
in my opinion, you said what?
Allegedly.
Nah, what you mean allegedly? We know Indie Tribe is the ones that power that.
No,
powered by Indie
you
Tribe.
allegedly you think that Erinn went for a bigger piece of the pie.
Yes, that's alleged for sure.
Yes, yeah, that's what I want to make sure is known.
Oh, got you. So it just seemed like, Erinn thought that, with Erinn, it felt like, I should stop saying Erinn, probably what it is Erinn. BYOD felt like that they weren't able, Indie Tribe wouldn't be able to do the festival without them. But from a public standpoint, Indie Tribe was the ones doing the festival, so it wouldn't have mattered if they had BYOD's name behind it or somebody else's name, right? So they say, we don't need that. We're going to go over here and we're going to do our own festival. You can keep the name, because it's not necessarily about the name. It's about the whole festival as a whole. And especially with Dill being the face of it, Dill and Indie Tribe, you can name it whatever. It's still Dill and Indie Tribe putting it on. And for real, it's better. This is probably going to be the best one that they've had, because it seems like they got alliances with a lot of people, and all those alliances that they had are on that festival, including Lecrae. And why you would want to go against Lecrae, the biggest name in CHH, I don't know. But everybody on that festival is popping, right? So
shouts out to Genuine Life in the chat.
Why they wanted to do what they did, it doesn't make sense financially. And they renamed it, and now it look like a smokers festival. It looked like if you smoke weed, come to this jump. You know what I'm saying? They got the green stuff with the smoke vibes to it. So now you might get a bunch of stoners there. You know what I'm saying? You might get more of a crowd, because everybody smoke weed, especially in CHH. So you might get more of a crowd. You feel me? So I think it was smart by Dill to say, we don't need to do it with BYOD. Let's, throw our weight around, and let's put our name behind it and go crazy with it. And I guarantee you it's probably going to sell more than it did the last 3 years they did the regular Holy Smoke.
Okay. Yeah, shouts out to Cool to Love in the chat too. So Nat is dropping stuff. So what, Nat D, what episode of just was this recent? I mean, because this No Big Deal joint, this verse came out just within the last week or two, right? So when was this Ruslan John Keefe joint that discredited the Cruise hip hop video, when the Cruise hip hop video literally just came out? Can you see the joint on that, Bree?
Yeah, we ain't signed no contracts for domination. Nobody signed a contract this year.
Let me see.
So Nat D said
3 days ago.
3 days ago, exactly. So he discredited. Yeah. So he was on Ruslan within the last 3 days. Nat D said John Keefe discredited this video, but he talking about it on Ruslan's joint. They were always supposed to be equal partners. However, when they were ready to put more money into the festival, I'm not sure what happened. BYOD told them Indie Tribe were just marketing tools and never partners. Now no one can use the name. Nat D says John Keefe said they never signed a contract, which I think by now, with all the bad deals from the 90s, you always need a contract. Okay, Nat D said, yeah, it was like on Tuesday or Monday. So listen, about contracts. The music industry has always been a handshake industry. With that being said, I have always been huge on contracts.
I haven't. I hate contracts.
Goss has not been huge on contract. So normally if you ever are an artist that's booked for domination, if you get a contract, that normally means that I booked you. And if you don't get a contract, that normally means that Goss booked you. This year, we ain't put a contract on nobody. I didn't put any on the ones I initially reached out to. He didn't put any on him like he normally doesn't do. And so that was that. And the show went out without a joint. I still don't feel like that's the best way to do things.
And ain't.
But
they don't matter, bruh. If the artists are gonna come or not come, they're not gonna do it. They don't come out a contract for $500. What's that mean?
Contract is not for $500. The contract is for services rendered, and I'm paying you this amount.
But if they say I'm not going to do it, what are we going to do?
If they say they're not going to do it, then you don't have to give them the money.
So the thing is, so obviously there's a down payment that's already gone out.
Right.
Right. And so there's only the remainder of the honorarium per se that would need to be paid upon showing up and performing on the event. So anyway, I'm pro contract. I'm not going to act like I'm not.
If you give them the honorarium, if you give them the first half of the honorarium, and then they say they're not going to do it, and you haven't given them the contract, right? You're just going on their word. If they say they're not going to do it, they're not going to do it. But what if they sue you for the rest of the honorarium?
Nobody's suing nobody.
What if they sue? You don't know that, Goss. Goss, I'm deeply concerned for your world. Okay, I just want you to know that I am deeply concerned for your world, and I am interceding for you starting tonight. Okay, deeply. What? Everybody gets a contract. My clients who want me to one-off get a contract. My clients who want me for 3 months get a contract. My clients who want me for a year, everybody gets a contract and a statement of work. Everybody. How do you know?
I am ultimately in agreement with this, Kiera, but I have talked with promoters for years. I'm talking old school promoters for years. And believe me when I say the handshake is the handshake. And that's what cats be banking on. It'd be crazy. I don't agree with it, but it is what it is. And to be honest with you, that is what we did this year for nomination
Goss
as
does
well.
live under the sea. Goss lives in a pineapple under the sea, clearly. Listen. Contracts.
So listen.
That's why y'all out here. That's why it's all out here messy and everybody gossiping and all over podcasts talking crazy and running it because it eliminates confusion. That's wild. That's like saying I don't need a marriage license because we married in my heart.
No, it's not. We're not comparing contracts to covenants.
A marriage is so the certificate is a contract, dear.
Fam. We're not comparing.
All right, so let's get back to BYOD.
VH artists to lifetime agreements.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get back to BYOD. Shouts out to Lost and Found in the joint. Let's get back to BYOD and Indie Tribe. Well, I'm sorry, No Big Deal. So
no contracts are irresponsible.
So I'll be interesting to see how it all flows this year. I think the artist, right, being able to pull the artists that they can pull, I believe that is based mostly on the artist relationships. I do believe that. Now, the actual running of the event and structure of the event and how the event ends up getting pulled off in the long run, I'm going to be very interested to see how that works, personally.
Really?
Yep.
How? Quote, why? I don't understand why you think it's going to change or why you think it's going to be any different. Like Holy Smoke is built off Indie Tribe. Like, they saw the blueprint for the last 3 years. So, they can make another 2 years, that's it? Don't matter. It's multiple years. So they can make another whatever they did, just repeat it for the last 2 years because they saw what they did with Erinn, right? So I don't think that it's gonna hinge. I don't think Erinn's work is that important to where it's now it's all gonna fall apart because Erinn's not a part.
So with Erinn and Brandon, right? And so this is where me and you of course disagree because you're gonna eventually lean on the side of artists. And I'm going to lean on the side of more business people, managers, promoters, whatever the case may be. One of the things that has kept Christian hip hop where Christian hip hop is because managers, promoters, to an extent DJs, to an extent radio, these cats have never been respected by Christian hip hop artists. And because of that, and because artists thought they could do it all, or they didn't trust people to do certain things, or whatever the case may be, this is one of the literal reasons why there is no structure in Christian hip hop.
I can agree with that.
I don't know the inner workings of this particular deal, and what happened then. I don't know. If Erinn and Brandon, if they could not see the value of Indie Tribe and Deal in the situation, then I think that is a mistake.
Right.
But if it was something else, like if Indie Tribe and Deal didn't see the value of Erinn and Brandon and BYOD in the situation, I believe that's a mistake too.
But don't you feel like, or are you giving credit to Deal understanding that he is an artist and that, hey, maybe I can't do all of this. Let me go hire somebody else. Because Erinn's not the only manager in CHH. And Brandon's not the only person in CHH. So if they're smart, which I think they are, they probably have somebody else at the helm as well, or brought somebody else in. Like, they're not doing it by themselves.
Maybe they did. Maybe they did. I don't know. That's a good point. That's a very good point. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know what they did.
They gonna be
I
fine,
hope
bro.
that they would have done that. But we'll see. We'll ultimately see.
That's why y'all.
It's probably gonna be better.
We'll see.
We'll see. When the brass tacks of the business gets to it, we'll see with the structure and the different things of that nature.
I don't think we are going to see though. We won't see it.
We'll see how that.
You'll see how.
I think it'll get back. I think it'll get back to me.
Oh, got you.
Say again.
I was saying if there's a lack of organization,
you say, Key?
I'll say if there's a lack of organization and structure, you absolutely will see.
Nah, but Lil Birdie at Domination.
No, I think we will see.
Lil Birdie at Domination told me like, yo, it's not even like it's not even a thing anymore as far as like what she's doing in the industry. It's not even something that well, basically they're saying Dill and them are about to go crazy. They about to be fine. And like what they got planned, it's going to prove we could have did this by ourselves for a while. And we really didn't need BYOD at all to do it. And then that's the sentiment in CHH as well.
So 2 points to that. 2 points to that joint. Number one, I do believe that probably, outside of the ladies, I think Erinn, maybe Portia, maybe Wande, maybe Portia, maybe some of the ladies, I do think just about the Erinn is probably done with CHH. I do think that Erinn is a active and smart business mind, and that she has contributed to things in CHH. And I believe a lot of that stuff, unfortunately, will be completely ignored and trampled on and dismissed like she didn't bring it when she did. Number one. Number two, yes, Indie Tribe and Deal and whoever else might now be able to take Smoke Festival, whatever, and do whatever with it. The question is, do they ever get it? Do they ever make it pop? Do they ever even do it? If not for a person like Erinn or Brandon coming together, making it happen, structuring it, introducing the idea, because as I understand, this was not Indie Tribe's idea, I don't believe, or NoBigDyl's idea. Brandon and Erinn bring it to him, use Indie Tribe as the marketing, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. They make it happen. And now, theoretically, you might even see NoBigDyl and Indie Tribe maybe steal the structure or the fact that even just the motivation or the inspiration or that, hey, we can do this. We can actually do this. I've seen it done now. We can now do it. So I hate when things like this happen, because I think it hurts us more than it helps the genre in general. I want the business side of the house and the artist side of the house to have respect for one another and try to work together as much.
But I don't think it's a disrespect thing. I don't think that they feel like that at all from the relative to we don't have respect for BYOD, because they did, or they wouldn't have worked for them for the last 2 years or 3 years, whatever. I think it's the thing of you thought that I can't do this without you, and you try to take more bread, according to the thing that we saw from Cruz. So according to those facts, from what we think we know about the thing, I absolutely feel Dill. Like, yo, we don't need, like, she probably came to the table like, yo, this is what we doing. And if you don't like it, then, yo, you can step. As if Dill is not the one moving stuff.
So from the Cruz report, which I don't even know how much J&M know, but from the Cruz report, BYOD started it all and fronted all the initial investment and stuff
And they
on it
probably
all.
got all that back already from the first two.
So I
Bro,
think
Jay-Z didn't need Dame to be Jay.
I don't know. That's not. I don't know if that's true.
We see
I think
it.
no. We see the aftermath of it. We
That's
see
what I'm
the
saying.
aftermath of it.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
the thing is, does Jay-Z ever make the mark that Jay-Z made if Dame is not in there at the beginning?
I'm not disputing that fact. You are correct. BYOD definitely helped them make the mark. But for them to come to them and be like, you don't want to do it my way, we cutting you out the deal. As if they can't do nothing about it. So it's the Dame and Jay thing where they had to split, and Dame's and Jay still rose to different heights and took some of the people with him that wanted to stay with him.
Well, I'm smart enough to realize that the artist is unfortunate, but to an extent, the artist always wins in the end game. But without everybody working together, we never build. We never go. Because, okay, so now they've got smoke, but they won't know what the next level of the smoke festival is or any other move is until another business mind comes into the picture and says, hey, let's do this. Do you feel what I'm saying?
I do.
And so now where that could be organically happening and building together, now there's a split and whatever the case may be. So I think it's extremely unfortunate that this marriage per se didn't work out, and unfortunately, this is a trend in Christian hip hop where the business side of things and the artist side of things, they just don't always seem to come together and see eye to eye. Well, not even beyond see eye to eye, but put pride aside to then go whatever. Because I'm honestly thinking from the report that I think NoBigDyl and Indie Tribe maybe came back to the table. Not necessarily BYOD came back to the table. Because I think BYOD sparked everything. And then because it started to gain, Indie Tribe comes back and says, well, hey, we're part of this. Or like somebody said, aren't we supposed to be 50-50 partners or whatever? Or maybe try to get 50-50 partnership out of it. And so, but I don't know. I'm going to cape for the business people. You know, that's just kind of what's going to happen there. But it's all a lot of speculation and allegedly is because we don't really know. All we know is what should have been a beautiful situation didn't work. And ultimately, I'm going to believe it's probably due to pride, you know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. Me and Goss do Domination Fest, and we don't agree half of the time. Right?
Yeah.
But eventually, somebody got to be like, all right, let's rock. Let's do it your way. Let's see how it go. Let's whatever the case may be. Or maybe we'll do this, or maybe we'll do that, or maybe we'll try that, or maybe we'll try this. You know, but, you know, that's just kind of what that is there. Brina and Key, I apologize if we just totally got y'all out of that conversation. Feel free to jump in.
No, I mean, y'all good. I mean, I was hoping this was just a marketing thing. Turns out it's not. You really hate to see this kind of stuff happen, but time's just going to tell how this whole situation is going to play out. You know, whether they have to come back together and join forces again. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
It's too much pride. I doubt that they'll ever come back together and join forces. But I mean, I pray that would happen. But it's probably too much pride on the situation. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm going to cape for business people and say, just the artists in CHH do not respect the business people. And therefore, this is kind of where we end up being at. Kiera, you done just disappeared. You ain't sent no text, no nothing. You still there? I mean, what? Okay. Yeah, right. Chat, thoughts? Anything in the chat? What y'all got for us? Lost and Foul said Rockefeller definitely needed Dame. Jay maybe not. John H. said Jay is an anomaly. It typically goes like Chingy. So yeah. So that's what it had. Key, as you chew on your food, did you have anything else to add to that?
I really didn't. I'm actually just kind of following you guys because I hadn't followed that conversation as closely as you all had. So my apologies for that. But I'm just listening to you all. I'm just kind of stuck on there were no like the no contract part of the conversation.
Yeah, and I'm sure there was no contract in their business dealings either. So, and that's what I mean. Just like I mean, just to be extremely frank, it's not like me and Goss got a contract between us concerning domination either. You feel what I'm saying?
And even though y'all
So,
friends, nah.
no. So I mean, I get it. I understand the needed contracts. I normally believe in contracts without a shadow of a doubt. But yeah, yeah, we'll see how it all go, and hopefully that situation. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I just hate to see it because I think it reflects badly on CHH, and it will always affect the structure. Because I think BYOD is pretty much done with CHH, right? And so you have people that come in to help bring structure and help create tours or events or whatever the case may be, or just different opportunities for artists. And then they're like, "Oh, this never works. This is not going to work over here. So I'll just go back and handle secular stuff because ain't no money in CHH anyway. Outside of the artists."
The reason y'all not winning is not because y'all don't have talent. It's because y'all run businesses like ministries.
Maybe that's the case.
It's like I tell people, like, especially when I'm working with church people, this is not a ministry. This is not a ministry. There's no bleeding heart in business. There's very little compassion, and I'm not saying I'm an ogre, but like this is business. I can essentially go into business with somebody that I don't like because this is business. My feelings are separate. Here's the contract. Sign the contract. If you don't want to sign the contract, then we're not going into business together. It's just that simple. But y'all be running it with bleeding hearts and spirit-led emotions, and I'm just like, yo, it's gonna be a hot mess. Have fun in court, baby.
Have fun in court, baby. Listen.
Tastemakers.
Class. We do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers, aight. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight. We do more than make a living, we make